Hey everyone, it's therapist and relationship coach Micah Ross with the 26th episode of Relatables. And if you're counting, this is the 9th video in my 100 days of 100 videos. On day 11, so I'm a couple videos behind. Might have to crank a few out in one day. But I wanted to make sure to get a video in today. And I have a few friends who are new parents. And it made me think of an article that I wrote a couple years ago that was for the Huffington Post called "To All the Moms of an Infant and a Toddler." I also taught human growth and development for 6 years at the master's level, and I have a degree in marriage and family counseling. So I have thought a lot about families and what makes them work. And working with couples over the last 12 years definitely has me seeing some trends. And so some of the research is that 7 out of 10 relationships, marriages, are not well. Half end in divorce, and above and beyond that, 20 to 25% report not being well. And so what does that mean? Like 25% of people are doing well? And it really had me, those statistics really have me thinking a lot about, are we set up to fail here? And really critically looking at gender roles and expectations in terms of parenting, and all of that kind of swirling around in my brain, working with lots of couples. And I have this story of a day that I had a huge mind shift around parenting. We were getting ready to have our third baby. We had decided to hire an au pair, which is a French word, I think, and kind of a fancy thing. It sounded like having a nanny from another country live with us for a year. Sounds very expensive. It was actually less expensive than sending 3 kids to 3 different places 3 days a week. And so we had an au pair for a year, and we had an extraordinary amount of support. We have no family in town, and so with our first 2 kids, we were really just winging it, just the 2 of us. And a few things about her having an au pair and having a relationship with somebody from another country where they do parenting and family really differently, had me really questioning the ways that I thought about the expectations that I had for myself. One example is that when I hired her, she comes with all of these rules from the government, right? So the government says she cannot work more than 45 hours a week. She cannot work more than 10 hours per day. She has to have at least 18 hours off in a row per week, and at least 1 weekend a month she has to have 2 consecutive days off in a row. And so this woman came into our lives, and she would leave every day at 5 o'clock unless we had a date night scheduled. And she was my kid's favorite frickin' person. And I thought, well, isn't that interesting? She takes exponentially more breaks than I do and is away a lot more than I am. And she is their favorite person. And why was that? And so I really thought about the requirements, and well, yeah, of course I wouldn't hire a babysitter for more than 10 hours consecutively. I wouldn't expect anyone to have a Mary Poppins attitude towards my children at hour 11 of hanging out with them. And I thought, well, isn't that interesting? I expect that of myself. And I beat myself up and berate myself for being grumpy at hour 12. And I ask myself, what's wrong with me at hour 12 when I feel like I can't do this anymore? And so I watched so many moms come into my office, parents, but especially moms. I feel like the cultural expectations of mothers are just bigger than they are for men. My husband goes to the playground with our 3 kids, and older women give him cookies and kudos for, oh wow, I can't believe you brought all 3 kids to the park. What a great dad you are. That's crap. I don't get that when I go to the park with my 3 kids. I don't get cookies or kudos for bringing my 3 kids to the park. The cultural expectations for mom are different. We don't have to buy into them. But they're here, but we don't have to buy into them. And I think we have to be really clear about what they are, and if we agree, and if we want to abide by that. But giving myself a break and lowering the expectations of myself really, I think I knew it cognitively. I think I wouldn't have put those expectations on anyone else. But that year that we had an au pair, and she came with this set of rules, and I was like, wow, what if I had that set of rules? What if I gave myself big breaks like that? And that year showed me that I don't think parenting is a two-person job. I definitely don't think it's a one-person job, but I really don't think it's a two-person job. So yeah. This video is really unplanned. But I have a feeling it's going to grow because I have story after story after story in terms of how I change my mind about the expectations. Oh, you should title this one Cookies, Kudos, and Cultural Expectations. I should! I will change it! Thank you, Christy. So, examine your roles in your family. Did you slide into them or did you choose them? Do you like them or do you want to get rid of them? And how can you shift some things? And it might just be asking. So, that is all for today. I am so glad you joined me, and I hope to talk to you soon. I have lots of things coming up, including a Mom's Night Out on February 8th with Kids Explore at Robust in Webster. There's going to be wine, there's going to be chocolate, and there's going to be jewelry. And me talking about how to get your mojo back, if that's even possible, with all these tiny people running around. So I will talk to you guys soon, and let me know if you have questions. I need help coming up with topics for the next 100 days. Bye.